Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to you. My name is Nick. I hope you've had a good week and journeyed through it. As we all know, it's very unusual times at the moment, and the aim of the channel is trying to break away from all that guff. I have a few stresses myself, and I'm sure you do to different degrees, but we watch the videos, we make the videos, what I do, to have a bit of a laugh and a bit of fun. Live streams have been a bit down, but we won't go below one, so at least be one stream a week. It's very busy for me at the moment with work. I have to claim the overtime when it's there, because I think I told you before, this week I've done staggeringly, well, would have done 41 hours, and next week I might only have about 20 hours. So it's one of those weird contracts where when the overtime's there, you've got to grab it, like a squirrel burying its nuts in the woods for when there's a time where there's no nuts anywhere. I think you understand what that means, do you? If you are a squirrel, then comment below. But I hope you're faring well. If you're employed, great. If you're not employed, well, keep the faith. You know, do what you're doing. It's very odd times. I used to work at a bank. Now I work at a supermarket. Less stress, but I'm just glad for the work essentially. So there we go. So I hope you've liked looking at the videos this week. As I say, you might have seen all of them. Thank you if you have done. I can certainly do with the watch time, and I'll just go through some of my favourites and some of my not favourites. But basically, I'll probably cover all of them. I'll try and make it as varied as I possibly can, but my favourite game by far is on a system that I didn't have back in the day, but it just ticked a lot of tick boxes for me. Well, that's what tick boxes are for. It was Wave Race 64 on the Nintendo 64. Now, the graphics on this game are absolutely brilliant. Do check out the review if you haven't already. Come out in 1996. And first of all, I was a little bit frustrated because I couldn't control the bike properly, but you have to get used to feathering the throttle around corners and the handle of the jet ski. There's a championship there, there's a stunt mode, and there's practice modes as well, and the more you get used to it, the better and better it gets. Great frame rate, really a lot of fun. I'd love to play it in multiplayer at some point. So that was Wave Race 64, a really great game that's been recommended there. I reviewed, well, a disproportionate number of race games on the Nintendo 64, but who cares? They've all been absolutely fantastic, and it's good to have one eventually on the sea, and in some cases a duck pond. Other games I thought were good as well was Beast Ball on the Sega Mega Drive or Genesis. It's a game we've covered on the ZX Spectrum, the Commodore Amiga, under the name of Brutal Sports Football. This Beast Ball never got fully released, so I don't know if this is a representation of this game of what it would have looked like in the end, or would it add a few extra bells and whistles on. It seems slightly unfinished. You can compare it to the Amiga version. It takes a leaf out of Speedball 2's book, although it's a horizontal scroller rather than a top-down vertical affair. And you got to annihilate your opposition and get through the league. So I really enjoyed playing that one as well. And also there was a mod on Thursday on the ZX Spectrum, which is Target Renegade, which is a great game back in the day. Hasn't been too many mods of Target Renegade. I think it's the first one I've come across. There seems to be hundreds of mods for games like Jet Set Willy and Manic Miner. And the other ones, it's a bit few and far between. I think they must be harder to do. I think there was Attic Attack, the Halloween edition, we looked at by Alan Turvey at some point, and Bruce Lee RX and Jetpack RX also by him, so check those ones out. But this was Target Renegade reimagined. The main difference is there's a lot more colour in this one. They've gone to town on the backgrounds, but apart from that, it essentially plays the same. But if you like Target Renegade, it's good to see a few extra backgrounds there. The other games, they were sort of like okay to degrees. Blasteroids was a sequel to Asteroids from the arcades on the Commodore Amiga. A good colourful backdrop there. You can do 1 to 2 players on it. It was okay for a few minutes there. I wouldn't like to spend a whole day on the thing, but it's good once in a while. Instead of vectors on the original Asteroids, this was more coloured in. You've got different sectors to explore and power-ups as well when you destroy various coloured asteroids. That was quite good to a degree. 1943, the Battle of Midway on the ZX Spectrum. Now, you probably know, you might not, the Battle of Midway actually happened in 1942. This is called 1943, the Battle of Midway, but they'd already done a game called 1942, so they couldn't call it the same thing again. So it was 1943, the Battle of Midway. Interesting choice of colours, white and blue, a bit like reminiscent of the colours of some sort of like teacup sets you might have got back in the day, or maybe still do. So that was okay as well. I prefer Flying Fox to this one, if you're familiar with that horizontal shooter. This is a similar sort of idea, controlling I believe a World War II plane then, various over different areas. And the game that disappointed me the most was an Indiana Jones game, which I really wanted this to be good, but it was just so slow. It's isometric. It's Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, based on a comic novel, I believe. The game's trying to do a lot for 128k, and the slowdown is just too much to make it enjoyable. And also as well, it's a very bizarre colour scheme. There's a lot of red around the place. Now, I think a big chunk of red is hard on the best of times for your eyes. If you suffer from colour blindness or sensitive eyes, it's very hard for you to play this game. So I think they should have gone, although it's in a casino and they wanted to show a bit of red, I think it would have been better as a yellow backdrop, or maybe green, or even cyan. So it's very slow. I've been told the game plays a lot better on the Commodore Amiga and the PC versions, so I don't know if that's the case, but I'm sure we'll find out at some point. So they were the main games, and there was a ZX Spectrum live stream as well. It's always fun if you can join in a live stream, because it's when the community comes together. If you missed it this week, don't worry, they do get archived in the live streams playlist if you want to watch one or watch all of them, see what it's about. It's good fun if you can get involved in the chat box live. If you can't, you can sit back and watch it as well. So it's easy going, as much as you want to do, or as little as you want to do. There's no pressure on this channel. Excellent stuff, excellent stuff. So we're coming to well, it's like just past midway from March, haven't we? Lockdown's supposed to be ending, well, in terms of hairdressers open and stuff, April the 12th. It's coming up to the point where I might consider buzzing my hair again, because it worked the last time. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, my hairdresser would want me to go to the hairdressers and give them the money, but I might buzz it again. It worked out okay last time, so what could possibly go wrong? It's the same equipment, unless it breaks down halfway, and then I've got to go to work with a half-buzzed haircut. Oh dear, I think I'd have to phone up sick if that happens, but that's not going to happen. No siree, Bob. Can you book an emergency haircut just in case? I don't know. In the country as well, I don't know if you've had your jabs. Apparently now the over 50s can book in for to get their COVID vaccine and what's the name, to build up the antibodies there. I'm not over 50, but I'm quite close, so I guess it'll be me next. I work in a supermarket, so surely I should have got the vaccine early, yes? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows how they work these things out? But I'm still alive. I'm still breathing in and out, and I don't think I've got it. So there we go. Hooray! Hooray for that! Hooray for that! So thank you for watching the videos and subscribing if you have done so. If you haven't, please consider doing so, because that really helps. A massive help to the members as well, because it's you that's keeping this thing running, particularly at the moment through tricky times where I'm finding hours all over the place. If you want to find out a bit what that's about, click on the join button. It doesn't commit you straight away. There's a video telling you what it entails, the perks and the different tiers. So if you won't miss it, I certainly could do with it, so that would be wonderful. A lot of little bits eventually make a big bit, and it's always my intention to carry this on full time if I possibly can. Next thing is to upgrade this camera, but it'll do for now. It'll do for now. Recently got a second monitor, which helps with the live streams, and a new joystick as well. Who just beat me? Sky News. I need to find a way to turn that off. That is irrelevant news. Anyway, they just wanted to be involved. I mentioned Sky, so maybe they might consider sponsoring the channel, maybe. Now, throughout this video, I hope you haven't heard any like rustling or thuds. You might have done. On my roof of the house, there's a lot of thuds with birds landing on the roof. I think they must be either building nests or doing something crazy or doing mating dances, causing a lot of noise. There is a bit of thudding, but it's possible this microphone might have filtered it out, but it might not have done. So if you're wondering what a lot of thudding is about, it's not me. It's pigeons or birds or magpies or something on the roof doing their stuff. Now, if you've got pigeons or magpies on your roof, or indeed in your house, then let me know. Is it a bit early to be building nests? It is March. Maybe they're just getting a bit of practice. Excellent, excellent, excellent. As you know, I'm into space exploration, and I mentioned it a little bit before, the excitement about the Mars Perseverance rover that recently landed on Mars. It's an additional one to the Curiosity rover that have been on Mars quite a few years, going around really slow, but the Perseverance has landed in a crater, which is supposed to be, I think, a riverbed ancient riverbed on Mars that once had flowing water through it, so that's an ideal place to look for signs of ancient life, to see was there life on the planet, and the golden egg, is there still life now, albeit it might be microbial or bacterial. If they do find life, that'll be a big game changer. Now, what I didn't realise before, I mean, this thing's already sending really great high resolution photos back, so I don't know if you've seen some of them, but what I didn't know before is, strapped to the belly of this Perseverance rover is a helicopter. What? A helicopter? That is correct. That is correct. A helicopter filmed with a camera, right? So, you know, this is going to be a bit of a hit and miss in an unknown territory, because it's quite thin air on Mars, I understand, so I don't know how quick this propeller has to go round. But talks are recently happening at NASA about how to proceed on this. The helicopter is strapped to the belly of the new rover up there, and they plan to do test flights starting no earlier than the beginning of April. So one was said April or May. I don't know what the test flights entail. Probably means just hovering a few feet above the rover and coming back down again just to check it all works, and then going further afield. But you know, controlling a helicopter from Earth on Mars, unbelievable, isn't it? If I was in my garden and I had a model helicopter, I wouldn't trust myself standing at you like 2 meters away without it crashing into the garden fence or losing it out of range completely. But this is sending signals to the helicopter to fly around. Now, if this could happen, imagine the sort of like distance this thing could cover. Excuse me, this thing could cover, taking photos of the terrain all around the place. It could be amazing, but let's not get too excited, because it might not work or it might crash. So controlling a helicopter on Mars from Earth. Imagine the pressure of that job. Everyone watching you as you've got the controller, if it's a controller, maybe it's a PlayStation controller, going, here we go everyone, and it's crashed. Maybe if I did it, I'd have to do the commentary over NASA as it all goes absolutely crazy, like the plane in Cyclone, or when I live streamed it all over the place and me trying to rescue the thing. But yeah, exciting stuff, so hopefully there's a bit more news from that shortly. Excellent, so thank you again. I will say now thank you, this is the members bit, so I will say thank you to the members that are keeping the channel going. Thank you for your continued support no matter what tier you are on. If you're on the second tier and above, I will give you a shout out for any projects you want me to shout out, any channels, anything you're doing on Twitch, or even outside or other projects you want me to do. Even wishing someone a happy birthday. So there we go. They won't know who I am, but I can still do it. I can still do it. So thank you this time round to Jason Smith. Thank you. I should know these off by heart now. So thank you everyone. Squidworth, thank you sir. Stuart Laycock, Natty Nicky and Claire Johnson, thank you everyone. James O'Grady and John Roby, thank you. Jeffrey Searby, thank you sir, and Steve Norman, excellent. Now I quite regularly read Steve Norman's blog, so I'll give it a shout out there, because it's quite good fun, quite factual and all about his memories as well. So that's retroarcadia.blog. So retroarcadia.blog. He's gradually building up a great archive of blogs. As you can imagine, it takes a bit of time to do to get it as good as he is doing. But his most recent one is the game Alien, which I loved, on the Atari 2600. It's like a Pac-Man clone, but it's reskinned with, well, instead of being chased by ghosts, you're being chased by the aliens from Alien. Okay, and you control a colonial marine with a flamethrower instead of Pac-Man. So that's quite good fun. Have a read of Steve's blog to see what he thought about that and his memories of that game. So retroarcadia.blog. It's a game I've reviewed, I think, a couple of times. There we go, to see if he thinks the same as what I think about it. Thank you as well to Lemmy Barnett, Steve Q, thank you sir, much appreciated. Phil Hill and Rossi Bossy, Now, Rossi recently contacted me on Twitter because there's an update in his fantastic game which has been in development called Super 3D Pixel Eraser. Let's have a look. He's working on a demo which is going to be released soon, but as you can appreciate, there's quite a lot of work involved. He's been updating the graphics and the sound and doing a fantastic job, and he doesn't want to rush it through. He wants to get it just right, and the game's going to be a lot better for that, so thank you. So he's working on the update for it. There's a playable demo or watchable demo near completion, which will be launching soon on Rossi's Itch webpage, which hopefully I've put up there. If I haven't, I'll remind myself. Nick, put the thing up there. Okay, I will. Okay, I will. Excellent. There we go. So it's all looking good. It's got a few other games on there on his channel on the site as well, including Nifty Lifty 2, which you can play while you're waiting for that. Now he's going to be tweeting a bit later on today, and if you're watching this not on Friday or a bit later on, is a fallout of Bay Island, which is one of the tracks he's fully rendered there. Lots of detail in there, lots of objects to drive past, lots of interest. And content of the demo about 9 PM tonight, so that's Friday the 19th as I record this. Basically, it's the whole Bay City track, which is marvellous, including Bay Island, Bay Harbour and Bay City Tour, and extended track lighting of the other tracks together in arcade mode. So you can see this is really coming together now. It promises to be a really great game. I'm doing the speech on quite a bit of it, so that's an honour to do. So thank you, Ros, there. It's a pleasure to be a part of this absolutely amazing project, which is going from strength to strength. Okay, excellent. So keep an eye on Rossi's Twitter stream. I'll probably be retweeting it anyway, but there we go. Actually, I recently saw him, I don't know if this is part of the Bay City track, but what was really good, I recently saw that Rossi had done like an aqua tunnel, and I'm a big fan of an aqua tunnel in racing games. The first one I saw was in Need for Speed 3, a hot pursuit on the PlayStation, and this is looking rather cool. Formula 1 style cars going through an aqua tunnel, what's not to like there? Excellent, keep up the good work, Ross. Big thank you as well to Chono Baggy, thank you sir, Jason Holmes, Andrew Gibson and Gray Holt too. Really appreciated you lot. Thank you very much. And there's 5 of you on the upper tier, which is absolutely unbelievable. So thank you for that. So it's putting the dream a little bit closer. So thank you for your continued support. That's Martin Rymel. Richard Mitten, thank you. I know recently we've become friends on Twitter. We're linked together at least. So thank you very much. Tom, thank you. Julie Monkton and Graham Bebke. Thank you, Graham Bebke. Now, Julie's got, it's the same site but with a slightly different name. She runs quite a few sites, but this one we're looking at, I'll put it on takeonesmallgarden.weebly.com. That's takeonegarden.weebly.com. And Julie recently messaged me on Twitter as well, so let's make sure I don't miss out anything. Okay, so this site, it gets updated every couple of days, so that's quite prolific with photos that Julie's working on. It's got some nice calming videos, so that's good to hear on there, and gradually putting pages to illustrate the plant list. Excellent. So that's pretty good as well. So, you know, if you're a bit stressed and you've had enough of the retro game for a bit and want a bit different, have a look at this. It's all about nature, calming videos and cool pictures. So that's something to look at as well. So, yep, there's going to be a couple of ZX Spectrum games up on the channel on Saturday. I'll be at work, I think, a little bit. And there'll be a couple of videos on Sunday. If you're a member on the channel, one of the perks is to see what videos they are in advance. So if you want to practice those and be a clever clogs as the video goes up in the comment section, it gives you that opportunity to do so. So, as we say, hopefully lockdown is ending soon in the UK. I don't know if it's different where you are. You might be a little bit freer. If it is, I hope things are going well. Despite we're in different countries, a lot of us, we come together as a retro gaming community, which is absolutely brilliant. Without that, we never would have met, would we? Probably not. So thank you very much for watching this video. As I say, I'll keep trying to make it better with the time I've got available. Don't worry, I won't knock myself out. The channel's not going anywhere. Some people were a little bit concerned that I was overworking myself with what I had, but don't worry. My main concern is this, keeping it going and keeping contact with you lot as well, and it's all a bit of fun at the end of the day. So, till next time, take great care of yourself, have a good evening, have a good week, and have a good weekend, and a very fond goodbye.
Good. Bye, E.
and Jenkin.